Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we celebrate Flag Day with a flag retirement ceremony organized by 2 local Girl Scouts working on their Silver Award. Then Karen Thier, owner of All-in-One Pet Service, visits the studio for a new segment of Passion with Purpose. Poet Glenis Redmond visits and shares some poems with the members of the East Brunswick Senior Center in this week's Voice of Experience. And in our schools takes us to Bowne Munro Elementary School for Earth Day. So stay with us.
Thank you all for coming to the first annual East Brunswick Flag Retirement Ceremony.
We are gathered here to retire these flags that have been deemed no longer serviceable. It is proclaimed that each of these flags has served well. These flags have inspired those who desired the taste of freedom and have represented hope to those oppressed by tyranny and terror.
These flags have welcomed any and all in the name of liberty. The American flag flies free to the wind. The American flag flies above residential porches, campsites, small businesses, corporate offices, hospitals, schools, military and naval bases, government buildings, and nonprofit organizations.
The American flag is the most displayed and recognized banner in the world. These flags serve as constant reminders to all of us that we live in a country where our freedom has been deeply purchased by blood, sweat, tears, and ultimate sacrifice. We must not forsake what those in the service to this flag and their families have forfeited.
We would like to welcome Mayor David Stahl to say a few words.
I think this is what really makes East Brunswick such a wonderful place, the involvement of all of our citizens, no matter what activities we pursue. We are always out here to support one another. I particularly want to thank Carolyn and Sophia for coming to me probably late last year to bring forth this fantastic idea for the community. You know, when the third graders tour Town Hall on Government Day, we always talk a little bit about what young adults and young children can do to get involved in the township. And I particularly talk about the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts programs and how much they bring back to the community. We have so many different structures that have been built in town, so many different activities. And I would encourage you again next weekend on Saturday the 22nd to come up to the dog park where another young lady is doing a presentation as she earns her Silver Award, Jackie Paradise. But today is about Sophia and Carolyn and their involvement here in our first annual Flag Retirement Day. So I want to thank all the troop leaders who've been involved in their progress. And most specifically, I'd like to thank the 2 of you for bringing forth a wonderful idea. And I appreciate everyone taking time out of your busy schedules to enjoy today's activities. Thank you so much.
At this time, we'd like to call the color guard to attention. Color guard advance.
On behalf of the veterans of Foreign War Post 133 in East Brunswick, I want to congratulate the young ladies on their awards today. Thank you, Mayor, and thank the township for coming here today. Great job by these young ladies. They do a lot of work, great work, and I'm glad to be here to present it to them. Thank you.
Tom is giving this. If I could ask everyone to stand on the far side of our big flag, that would help in terms of the flag retirement. Thank you.
When the flag of our country has become worn or damaged, the proper way to dispose of it is through burning or burying. We are here today to pay our last respects to this flag, with love and reverence. Each stripe stands for one of the original 13 colonies. and each state is represented by a star wielded blue.
The first stripe stands for Delaware, then Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, and Rhode Island. These stars are to work together because as a representation of the Union, they can never be separate. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony. Please leave silently in a respectful manner. Have a good day. God bless America. Color guard dismissed.
I am Cindy O'Connor here with another edition of Passion with Purpose, a series of interviews with people who are manifesting some passion in their lives. And with me today, I'm very pleased to introduce Karen Thier, owner of All-in-One Pet Service. And with Karen is Margaret. Welcome. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
both. Sometimes I talk with people and I'm surprised to find out that they don't know what they're passionate about. And when I spoke with you, there was no hesitation. You've been passionate about animals since you were a kid. How do you manifest that in your life now?
So my entire life, even growing up, I'm one of 5 girls. We had, 2 dogs, 2 cats, parrots, fish, hamster, everything you can think of. And when I was 17, I was volunteering for Greenpeace. By the time I was 19, I was volunteering for the Marine Mammal Stranding Center. And since then, I have been volunteering for different shelters. I was a wildlife rehabilitator for 7 years for Mercer County Wildlife Center. So 36 years I've been volunteering for animals, whether it's wildlife or domestic or marine.
I think if we talk a little bit about Margaret, we're going to cover a lot of bases with her.
Yep.
So tell us about Margaret.
Okay, Margaret is actually from a puppy mill. I rescued her when she was 7 years old. Puppy mills are where dogs are kept and bred. The females are bred over and over and over again, and those puppies are then sold. And the conditions of the puppy mills are horrific. The care is inadequate. They're not spayed. So she had actually cancer. She had a mammary gland tumor that was malignant. She had gingivitis so bad they had to do surgery up into her sinus cavity. She has a heart murmur. So they suffer neglect. They suffer abuse. They don't get very good nutrition, green water. Sometimes they eat their own stool. So we're trying to get the puppy mills closed. The problem is a lot of people go to pet stores and still purchase pets. And they don't really need to because there is literally a breed rescue for every breed. There's a golden retriever rescue. There's a chihuahua rescue.
Well, you know what you're talking about, but what is a breed rescue?
Okay, so what happens is if a dog is a full bred, like Margaret is a full bred dachshund, you could go to the dachshund rescue. So a breed rescue is, unlike going to a shelter where you have a Heinz 57 variety, a breed rescue is, they're 100% purebred dogs. And most of the time in the shelters, they send those dogs to rescue. So you can go to any rescue.
So if you're looking for German Shepherd
rescue, every single breed has one. So you don't really have to go to the puppy store to get a full-bred dog, a purebred dog. You could actually go to the rescue and still get one. You can get a puppy, you can get an older one, So I encourage people not to go to the pet stores. I really encourage people to go to either a shelter, a local shelter, or go on Pet Finder, or go to a breed-specific rescue.
Let's talk a little bit about your business. What kinds of services do you offer?
We do pet sitting. We do daily walks. If your dog or your cat has an illness like diabetes and they need insulin and you're at work, we go and we give shots. We do pet transport. We do training.
What are the kinds of things that you see that most concern you about pet ownership now?
Several things. One is the abuse and the neglect. You know, the abuse can be physical, it could be neglect. What's happening is people are purchasing or adopting dogs that don't really suit their personality, and then they give up that dog. For example, if you're at a pet store and you see an Australian cattle dog and you're 70 years old and you live in an adult community, that's not the best dog for you. And I've seen that happen. I was actually called into a home for that particular case. And so then they end up giving up these dogs. So find a dog or a cat that best suits your personality. 1. 2 is, if you can't afford the dog, then rehome the dog yourself or give the dog up. I picked up a dog from Jersey City Shelter, and I was transporting the dog. My job was to transport this dog named Salem. And when I went and picked up Salem, Salem was so matted. Salem's ears were so horrifically infected that pus was oozing out of them. And Salem had a tumor on the side of his body this big. And so I ended up keeping Salem, like I do a lot of dogs, and have them heal before I then take them into foster. Buddy came into the system, and they gave the dog up because the dog was filled with allergies, and the allergies caused all this scabbing and redness and stuff. So if you can't afford a dog, you really shouldn't adopt the dog either, or buy a dog, because they cost a lot of money. So a dog might develop allergies. You know, a dog might have to be groomed. You know, we really don't want you to buy a dog or adopt a dog if you can't really afford it either.
Talk a little bit about your work with wildlife.
I was a wildlife rehabilitator for 7 years at the Mercer County Wildlife Center, and they come in for lots of different reasons. You know, I know a lot of people think trapping a groundhog is great to get off your property, but in 3 days later, when all the babies come out, they're starving, and then we get them at the Wildlife Center. Sometimes you think it's in your best interest to pick up a fawn and bring it in, but the fawn is there because the mother leaves the deer there during the day, and she comes back at night. It's really not in any trouble. Same thing with bunnies. A lot of times they're hit by cars. So we get bunnies, coyote, fox. A lot of fox have mange because they're sharing den holes now because there's not enough nature and wildlife and space for them because there's all the buildings. There's raccoon, possums, you name it.
A lot of the animals that come to you are coming because of people's ignorance. People just don't know enough about the patterns of wildlife.
Correct. Like, don't cut down your tree during squirrel season. You cut down your tree and you have all those babies, then we get a whole nest of them. Yeah, if they could educate themselves, that would be helpful.
Karen, we have just about a minute remaining. What would you like people to know?
To help us advocate for stricter laws for animals. The laws are not strict whatsoever. I have an example. There was a dog in East Brunswick, and the dog was left there and outside, and the owners had gone on vacation, and the dog's lead got tied around the tree and couldn't get to his food. There was no water. It was like 90 degrees, couldn't make it in the shelter. And when I called the SPCA, he said unless the dog had died, there was nothing he could have done. And I said, but the dog would have died if I wasn't giving the dog water and food. And he said, you would have been better off letting the dog die, because I have no law that can protect this dog because there was shelter in the yard. Again, we're trying so hard right now for stricter laws to protect the animals. So if people could help us advocate, write your legislator, and just help us with that, that would be great.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
For Passion with Purpose, I'm Cindy O'Connor, asking, what passion are you manifesting in your life?
Sisters have always been able to style in hats. You got to be bold and have snap to sport a hat. You got to have it and know where it is at. You have to stop, cock it to the side, check them out, and continue on with your stride. Profile it, style it, and then let them wow. Tilted or leaning to wear it straight in place. A well-worn hat is a symbol of style and grace. And you've heard people say it. I have too. Oh, that girl, she can wear hats. She sure enough knows what to do. Or a hat can get those oohs and ahs, and if it's totally bad, it gets applause. Some hats are so bad, they're just bad to the bone. People have to stop and go, That child's got it going on. And they say, you just go, girl. You just go on, girl. Because with that hat, you're the finest thing in the world. Hats, hats, hats. Big ones, tall ones, pointy ones, veil ones, plain ones, casual ones, sporty ones, and koofies, too. Hats, hats, hats. Lean it, cock it, style it, profile it, tilt it, tip it, check it, sport it. Hats, hats, hats. Do you dare to wear? How do you fare? Do you want to be bad to the bone? Then get you a hat and get it going on.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley Morosi, Assistant Director for the East Brunswick Department on Aging, and this is the Voice of Experience. Today I am here with Ms. Glenis Redmond. She is a performance poet and artist in residence with the State Theater in New Brunswick, and we have had the pleasure of her gift this afternoon. Can you tell us about your presentation today?
Thank you, Sharon. It's great to be here. My presentation was on poetry. I'm an autobiographical poet, so I was sharing poems about my life story, my life experience, all through verse.
My mama is magic. Always was, always will be. There is one phrase that constantly bubbled from the lips of her 5 children. My mama can do it. We thought my mama knew everything. Believe she did as if she were born full blown from the Encyclopedia Britannica. I could tell you stories how she transformed a rundown paint-pilled shack into a home. How she heated us with tin-tub baths from a kettle on the stove, poured it over in there like an elixir. My mama is protection like those quilts her mama used to make. She tucked us in what cut out history all around us, and we found we could walk anywhere in this world and not feel alone. My mama never whispered the shame of poverty in our ears. She taught us to dance to our own shadows, pay no attention to those grand parties on the other side of the track. Make your own music, she'd say. As she walked and cleaned the sagging boards of that place, you'll get there. You'll get there, her broom seemed to say with every whisk. We're my mama's favorite recipe. She whipped us up with her 2 big brown hands and a big brown bowl supported by her big brown arms. We were homemade children, stitched together with homemade love. We didn't get everything we ever wanted, but we lacked for nothing. We looked at the stars in my mama's eyes and they told us we owned the world. We walked like kings and queens, even on midnight trips to the outhouse. We were under her spell. My mama didn't study at no Harvard or Yale, but the things she knew, you couldn't learn in no book, like how to make your life sing like sweet potato pie sweetness out an open window. How to make anybody feel at home. How with just the right moment be silent and with those eyes say, everything's gonna be all right, child. Everything's gonna be all right. How she tended to our sickness, how she raised our spirits, and she kept flowers living on our dilapidated porch in the midst of family chaos. My mama raised children like it was her business in life. Put us on her hip and kept on moving, keeping that house pine saw clean, yeah. My mama's magic always was, always will be. Her magic, how to stay steady and sure in this fast-paced world. Now when people see me with my head held high and my back erect and look at me with that, who does she think she is? I keep on walking with assurance inside. I'm Black Magic, and I'm Jeanette Redmond's child.
Why poetry?
Poetry is one of those vehicles when I was around 11 or 12 that pretty much single-handedly saved my life. I had a teacher who gave us a journaling writing exercise, and that exercise changed me. I did not want to do it, but there was something wonderful that happened on the 3rd or 4th day. I started writing in poem form, and I started writing about my challenges, my celebrations, and I never put the pen down.
What would you say to some of our, actually all ages who are listening, about the value of poetry?
I think the value of poetry is that it takes both the intellect and the heart. And so therefore you're tapping into these 2 wonderful places of your life. So there's this synergistic effect that comes when you take the heart and the head, and you get to reflect on your life. You can go to the past, you can be in the present, you can go to the future. What other art form that allows you just to have that sense of timelessness? And so I think it feeds you. And when you communicate, when you go within and you start thinking about what are my deepest feelings, what are my deepest memories, they allow you to walk in the world in a different way. And so I'm an advocate, not just of poetry, but the arts in general. I think it makes us better human beings. You know, I felt like there's a moment during the performance, it actually was after when we were having the Q&A, when people start asking questions or commenting, that you can see that there is this community effect that happens. And every single time, no matter where I go, where I'm working with 4-year-olds, I'm working with 104-year-olds, there's always that moment where we can come together. And I don't know anything else that can do that other than the story. And we all have one. And that's what poetry allows us to do. Tell our stories.
Wow. Well, we certainly witnessed that this afternoon, and what a wonderful way to describe it. If someone wanted to know more about your performance schedule, how would they find that out?
You can go either two ways. You can go on my website, which is glenisredmond.com, or you can go to my agents, and they are Lloyd Artists with one L, Loyd, artist.com, and it has my itinerary there. I'm on the road 6 to 7 months out of the year, and I come back to New Brunswick, New Jersey in the fall, and I'm here usually 3 times a year as the poet in residence, artist in residence at the State Theater. So there should be an opportunity for them to find me.
Well, we thank you so much, and the State Theater, for this very generous gift this afternoon.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you for having me.
If you would like more information about programs and services available through the East Brunswick Department on Aging, then call us at 732-390-6896. And please remember, the East Brunswick Department on Aging is here to help you and yours age successfully.
Hi, we're here at Bowne Munro School today. It's Earth Day, and I'm here with 2 members of the Student Council, Brianna and Gabriella. And the Student Council planned quite a day for Earth Day today in recognition of Earth Day. The whole school is involved in quite a few projects. Can you tell us about that, Gabriella?
Well, first of all, the Kinder Buddies, so us 5th graders and our Kinder Buddies will be going outside, and we will pick up litter around the school grounds, so that should be a lot of fun, clean the environment.
Okay, and what else is going on, Brianna?
The 1st and 2nd graders brought watering cans to water plants on the school grounds.
Great, it hasn't rained in a couple days, so the plants are really going to like that.
The 3rd and 4th graders will be weeding plant beds in front of the school so they can grow.
Fantastic. So it sounds like you also planned some things to inform the students of ways that they can really help our Mother Nature and the earth here, right? What were some of those things that you suggested?
Well, in Student Council, we're making no idling zone posters. So when the parents drop their kids off at school, they can't leave their cars on.
Okay.
And they have to turn them off.
Okay, and what there's a couple reasons for that. What would they be?
They can't waste gas in the car and pollute our environment.
Okay, so the exhaust that comes out, it stops that too, right? Another project that you're trying to get people involved in, the teachers.
We're going to try, like, when the teachers are not using their smart boards or their computers, they're going to try to turn them off so we can save the
energy.
Yeah.
Right,
like
right. Okay, fantastic. Those are all great ideas. So we're out here, outside by the playground here at Bowne Munro School with 3rd graders, Madison and Kelly. And what were you just doing out here?
Picking weeds.
Picking weeds. Why were you picking weeds, Kelly?
We were picking weeds because today's Earth Day.
Okay, and the Student Council put together some activities for every grade level to do.
Yes.
And 3rd graders, it was actually weeding. So what do you think about weeding? Is it an easy job or a hard job?
A hard job.
It's a hard job, right. Why do we have to weed our gardens? What'd you learn about that?
We learned that if we don't weed our gardens, that the weeds kind of crowd out all the beautiful things in the garden, like flowers and
bushes and all the other things that you put in the garden to make everything look beautiful, right? So, were there a lot of weeds here before?
Yes.
Okay, and you already told us it was hard work, so good job, girls. Thanks very much. Do you think you'll be helping your mom with the weeding at home?
Yes.
Okay, very good. These are Michael and Michael from 5th grade. Now, 5th grade, this Earth Day business is especially significant to 5th graders. And why is that? Can you tell us what you're studying right now in science, Mike?
Well, right now we're studying trash power and pollutants. And we realized that there was a lot of, that we polluted a lot. So we decided to cut down on that by recycling like plastic bags, and we're going to bring this to a place where they could recycle it. And
that's an excellent project. So you asked the students to bring them in, or just the 5th graders?
Students.
All the students in the school. Great job. So Mike, you have a water bottle there. It looks like you've got another project going with those.
Well, so like a lot of students leave their water bottles in after school and just leave water bottles left over all over the place. So we decided to like take the water bottles and reuse them, and by putting them in here, right through here, and to recycle.
Well, also, like Gabriella said, we also made no idlings posters, because also while we were studying pollutants, that we saw how much that really can hurt the environment, so we made posters so that our planet can be a little bit better.
Okay. How besides your posters, is everybody going home and reminding their moms and dads not to idle when they drop off?
Well, I think we've really been doing our best to try to tell everyone all this, and so everyone really gets because this is really important and for the earth. So we've been trying to tell everyone with flyers and in the morning announcements, with telling everybody about.
So not just to do it, but to understand why, right? That it's really important for our environment and our earth that we take care of it. It's a really good project that you're involved in. Good job, guys.
The East Brunswick Summer Concert Series will kick off on Friday, June 28th at 7 p.m. with the Driftwoods. The Driftwoods are the East Coast's #1 Beach Boys tribute band, and they have been at it since the mid-60s. What better way to start your summer than hearing the sounds of the Beach Boys with the Driftwoods? Friday, June 28th, 7 p.m. at the East Brunswick Community Arts Center. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching.